Good day, folks. Welcome back to my neck of the woods. My name is Deco, where I share my experience and my knowledge, hoping to lessen your learning curve. So I have another product review, another broadhead. This is Ramcat broadhead. It's a very unique design. It's a very great broadhead, and I'm going to tell you all about it. And I'm going to tell you my experiences with it. Hopefully this holds a little merit and gives you an insight as to if this is a good fit for you. All right, so please sub the channel, like my videos, and make some comments. If you've seen any of my videos before, I enjoy the comments, good or bad. It lets me know how you feel. I enjoy the feedback, and helps me make better reviews for people too. All right, so without any further ado, we have the Ramcat broadhead. Now, these were initially made by a company called Smoke Broadheads, but Ramcat, I believe, has since maybe bought the pattern, and now Ramcat, they make mechanicals and other ones, fixed blades, and this is the original Ramcat. This is the 125 version. I'll give you a look of it here, so hopefully we can stay on focus. There we go. So it is a three blade. It's kind of like a cross. They're not fixed. They do move, and it's not considered a barbed, because when broadheads are swept back like this, when fixed blade broadheads are swept back like this and they stay in that static position, it's considered a barbed broadhead. And a lot of barbed broadheads are illegal in a lot of states. And the reason being is when it goes into the animal and it does not pass through, that it cannot work its way back out, and then it causes havoc to the animals. But one of the sort of claims to fame or the features of this Ramcat broadhead is you can see that they are sharpened on, I'm trying to get a good focus here, it's not working out for me, but you can see that they are sharpened on both sides of the blades. So if you hit the animal, it goes into the animal, right, and it does not get a full pass through, these, with a good amount of pressure, you can push them forward. That one push forward. These push forward with pressure, and then they will cut and slowly work their way out as that animal runs through the woods or wherever it's running. It's held together with these little Allen keys right here. You can buy replacement blades. The blades are very sharp out of the box, no need for sharpening. The Allen key it's not a righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So to tighten it, you have to turn it counterclockwise. That's really the only difference here. Very easy to, if you can see that this is actually an old ferrule. I'm having trouble with focusing here. This is actually an old ferrule, and I have put new blades on it. These are good for crossbows or compound bows. It's not a problem. I'm going to go through some specs, and then I'm going to tell you my exact experiences as to how this has performed for me. It's performed well. All right, so this is the 125 version. This is the original Ramcat. I went over the replacement blades and whatnot. It is a 1 1/4 cut. So if we see here, from blade to blade, see, blade to blade, we got 1 1/4, really. Right? That's where it hit. Actually, it's a little bit more. It's closer to 1 1/2. Oh, so it's closer to 1 1/2. So they advertise it as a 1 1/2 cutting diameter, not to be confused with 1 1/2 cut. So from tip to tip, which isn't, so it's only from here to here. As you can see, it's swept back. It gives a full 1 1/2 cut, and it also has a 1 1/2 cutting diameter. So the circle that it makes with these offset swept back blades is a 1 1/2 cutting diameter. Make sense? Okay, good. It's weird that it's advertised as a 1 1/4 cut, but a 1 1/2 cut diameter. But when I measure it, you know, it's actually a little shy. Whoopsie. It's a little shy of 1 1/2 here. So you can see. A little shy of 1 1/2. Who knows? I thought I measured it before the video, but apparently I didn't. So anyway, it's advertised a 1 1/4 cut and a 1 1/2 cutting diameter. it is probably, of all the broadheads I have used, I'm always bouncing around with broadheads, always trying new things for the consumer, doing reviews for the channel and whatnot. Of all the broadheads I have shot, this is probably the most accurate. They fly just like field points, including mechanical. Sometimes mechanicals, they don't fly perfectly. Probably the best flying broadhead and probably the best penetrating broadhead that I have ever shot. If you are one of those people that always hit the deer right on the money all the time, they're always gonna, you always double lung them. You don't make bad shots. You always, and I'm not saying people make bad shots on purpose, but some of us, the bad shots happen. But if you're one of those people that hit it in the Boilermaker every single time, this is the broadhead for you. It really is. It goes through like butter. As far as like that back cut, not going through all the way, I've always had it go through all the way. I did hit a shoulder blade one time, and this ferrule is stiff. It's pointy on the top, and these blades, these sections on the side, they are sharp too. They come sharp right out of the box, and you can sharpen them. You can lay them flat on a stone, and you can take them to a stone if you want to put a better edge. But for the most part, it's razor sharp right out of the box. This design here, if you care about it, is, and I think this is its claim to fame and why it's so accurate and why it gets the penetration that it gets. These little concaved areas, that I think they call them scoops. I think it's called HydroShock technology. Every broadhead has its own technology terminology, and this one is HydroShock. And what it does is, I guess, it sort of cups the air and makes the air go up and over the broadhead, as opposed to causing resistance, so to speak. Either way, in my opinion, like I said, it's the best penetrating broadhead that I've ever used. And if you go and look at some of the other testing on YouTube, where they do like ballistic gel, or they shoot through cardboard or whatever, it really out-penetrates everything else. But as far as durability, these blades, they're thin and they're gonna bend. If you hit any type of bone, they're gonna bend or break off or end up in the animal. That's why I said before, if you're one of those people that just pump it right into the lungs every single time, or 90% of the time, it's a great broadhead. You can shoot it out of a crossbow, you can shoot it out of a compound bow. If you're doing like heavy setups and stuff like that, where you're putting inserts in here, you can certainly do that. But you do lose durability. So like even when these when these blades hit the sides and hit the ribs, they bend going through that too. So it's this broadhead, I think it's about $39.99 for 3 of them. It's kind of a one and done. You have to buy the replacement blades. It's not so much that it loses its edge, it's that these blades bend. They bend even when they hit ribs. So you got to buy the replacement blades. But the ferrule will, short of getting bludgeoned at the top if you go into a bone, or if it goes through and hits a rock or something like that, you can still sharpen it up. You can just take it to a stone. It's flat right here. You can rub it right on a stone, and you're going to get those edges back on the top. Even if it bludgeons a little bit, you can work it back for the most part. I have seen people that the threads on these Allen keys here, they do loosen over time, but a little bit of Loctite's going to help you too. You can tighten them down as much as you want, and you're still going to have the ability for this sort of back cut to work. They only go in so far, for the back cut. So it's not like you're going to tighten them too much for so this back cut doesn't work, and which would make it a barbed. But even so, it still works tremendously. Price is good. It's a good broadhead. That's all I really have for you. Every deer that I've shot with this has been a complete pass-through, and some of them weren't ideal shots. I always got good blood trails with it. Easy to find. It pokes a good hole. It makes a good, like I said, you can see that it has this sort of swept back, off-centered design to it. Very, very similar to like a helical on the other side, on the back end or whatnot. But it pokes a good hole. It's a great broadhead, and I recommend it to anybody. All right, that's all I got for you. Sub the channel. I'll talk to you guys later. Be well.